Definitely.
effectively.
But
Quite unfortunate. You hate to see it.
you hate to see it, but goodness, was that an exciting climax to the
Yeah.
series? They split into two different sides.
Oh
Oh
my God, that
goodness.
fight. It was very disappointing from U of M in my opinion. They have some communication issues, I think.
All right.
Um,
Well, hopefully they'll
for
fix
sure.
it by the time Big Ten comes around.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
we'll have some competition in the tournament.
They're figuring it out. They got a lot of new players, so they
So
still have some things to work out. It's fine.
yeah. So do you have any closing remarks that you think U of M could capitalize on? You think MSU did well?
I think
But
MSU definitely team fought way better than U of M. I think that was the main difference in that series. U of M still working on the communication. They got a lot of new players.
definitely, especially
Obviously,
with incoming freshmen.
yeah, a
They
couple
might
incoming
they might
freshmen.
be thinking like they're hot stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I've never met them,
no, they
so
don't think they're hot stuff.
all
They
right.
they're
Okay,
just they
they're
might be a
humble.
little intimidated. You
Oh
never know.
yeah.
A lot of people haven't played in competitive yet.
Mhm.
Just playing
I
against
mean, like
MSU on their first
this is
game.
their first collegiate game
Yeah.
technically, versus the powerhouse that is MSU.
Yeah.
Did we
Um,
beat you in football last year? I don't think so.
wasn't it that really close game?
I think it was a really close game.
Wasn't it that one where you guys just stole it from us?
No, that was 2 years
Oh, okay,
ago.
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, something
I don't
like
know
that.
about last year then.
I don't know either. I don't. Do you watch football? I don't.
No,
I don't.
I,
Watch.
I I go to all the games for U of M now.
Okay.
But yeah, because I got
Just
tickets.
oh, nice. I work the events, and if there's enough seats left over, I go to the games.
Uh,
Yeah. So
I'm getting into football now, but
Okay.
yeah, we should probably talk about the the
Not
set.
not football.
You know.
I mean, we're talking about the rivalry between MSU and U of M.
Yeah.
So that's always great.
Yeah, a common theme I saw in the team fights there, as we were saying, MSU definitely played the team fights better. U of M kind of let themselves be divided. They couldn't focus on like peeling for their carries and letting their carries get damage in. Like Tipsy didn't have the opportunity to go in because he was constantly 4v2. Even though everyone was so low, Tipsy couldn't get damage in because
Well,
he'd just
yeah,
get
it doesn't help.
bursted down.
Yeah, it doesn't help that you have Braum Flash Ultimate along with the Tristana W to get her into position.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors that could have been worked on, and a lot of
Ryze and Lucian were the main sources of damage that game, and neither of them had the ability to get close enough to do damage because their front line was so behind, and their front line, I don't think they played the fights as well as they could have.
I can agree with that. Especially with, I think Poppy got caught out
Yeah.
several times when she really didn't have to.
In the first game, got caught out a few times too. It was
So it's just
common theme.
yeah, something to give your top laners something to work
Yeah, I think they're
Or
definitely
both
gonna
of
have a
them.
good time looking back on those games and deciding what they did wrong. 'Cause I
yeah,
think there was a lot of obvious things that U of M did wrong and they need to fix.
Mhm.
So
I'm sort of glad that U of M that was humble throughout like all their promotion and stuff
yeah,
sort of lost, whereas we who were trash talking like how we're gonna beat U of M,
damn.
we didn't like fall flat on our faces.
Yeah.
But the curse is finally broken. MSU won on stream, and that's what I'm happy
Did,
about.
did they not
It's-
win before?
So we were
When U of
we
M
w-
had their master jungler and top laner last year?
so we won the game versus U of M in Big Ten, like our bracketed game. Not the
Okay.
bracket, the just the regular season game.
Like last
we
year?
2-0'd, yeah.
Oh wow.
This was spring.
Mhm.
And then we went into brackets. Michigan, their first game was against Ohio State because they're the bottom seed.
Oh.
They beat Ohio State.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they went into round
Heck
2.
yeah.
Whereas we're seed like 3 or 4, and we're versing Maryland, who was like a seed 5 or 6, something like that.
Oh.
We got 2-0'd.
Oh, by Maryland.
Yeah. Well, I think Maryland went off to either win the tournament, but they went to finals.
Damn.
Yeah. So congratulations, Maryland. I guess.
Wow. Good
But
for
yeah,
them.
yeah, we went on stream now.
It happens.
That's times are changing.
Yeah. Don't crack under the pressure.
I hope not. I mean, our jungler is a lot more humble.
Yeah, he's a good player for sure. He's up there in the top 200, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Goodness, I think he. I don't know. I know he's been top 75 before.
Damn, dude. My highest was like 500 in April. I was
Oh,
in
nice.
Masters. I failed my Masters series 2 days ago as well.
Oh, so you're just D1 right
I was
now?
against Night Blue 2 games,
Oh.
dude. He's playing 80 carry now. He's so bad. But
Is he?
it's, whatever, it doesn't
I
matter.
used to watch him when he was just like, I play jungle, I play Ka.
And then he quit, and now he's back and
Yeah.
he's playing ADC.
Anyway, we're gonna throw it back to
Yes.
our hosts as we
It was a good game.
conclude the matches that we just had.
Good
Anyway,
set.
take it away, guys.
Thanks, Quinn. Thanks, John. We appreciate your guys' casting. Now,
right.
before we say goodbye to you guys,
Yeah.
why don't you go ahead and let everyone watching on stream know where they could find you on Twitch?
Oh, definitely. I guess I'll switch
Sure.
it back to us. So I have 2 Twitch accounts. I am the broadcast manager for the ESA of MSU. You can find that at twitch.tv/ESA of MSU. Then I have my own personal one, twitch.tv/MageCats, where I also do casting. I also play like City Skylines and stuff.
Okay. Well, I have a personal Twitch account as well. I stream myself playing solo queue games. It's twitch.tv/Johnster. My tag is Johnster, JOHNNSTR. I'm a Diamond 1 Fizz 1 trick if you're into that, and I play some other mid lanes. So I've been Masters before, so I'm up there.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Check out this guy. He's
If you're
really
looking
cool.
for some good gameplay,
I've met him for a couple days or a couple hours. But
Yeah.
I already think he's the best.
Quinn's pretty cool too.
Excellent. Guys, thank you so much for your casting. We are here at the University of Michigan Ann Arbor campus for the League of Legends Michigan State grudge match. And congratulations go out to the Michigan State Spartans for taking this one at 2-0. They are the victors.
Sweep.
They are the victors for
A sweep.
this initial grudge match. This was really fun to watch.
It
Feels
was-
nice being winners, doesn't it, Nate?
Yes, it does.
All right, and yes, unfortunately, I will have to play Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and Joe will have to play a David Cage game.
Joe is real
He's
mad
really
about
upset
this.
about it.
So we've decided though that you're at least playing Detroit Becoming Human, right?
Yeah, and I'm playing it on Loathe at First Sight. I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone with this bad boy.
Oh,
Yes.
Well, there you
Yes.
go. I mean, at least it's not heavy rain, right?
I mean,
it could be worse.
I'm not going to try to argue like that. There's no way it could possibly be
Yep,
worse.
and it looks
could
like
be
we
heavy
got
rain.
the
It could be Between Two Worlds.
Indigo Prophecy.
Indigo
Oh,
Prophecy.
God, it could
yeah,
be
if it was Indigo Prophecy, you'd really be.
But it
hurting.
looks like we got the winning team falling in now, so let's try to get those guys over here.
Well,
so we can,
we'll get when
present
they're
them their
ready.
belts.
They seem a little bit distracted.
They're
So
not distracted.
Basking in the glow of their
we'll get
victory.
Okay, maybe.
We'll get to them in a hot second here, but we are currently live on Twitch over at twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio. If you're listening on the podcast, make sure you go and follow. And if you happen to be one of those maybe just catching us for the first time on WRIF's website, then make sure you head on over to twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio so that you can follow us for more exciting action. This was the first time that we've ever had play-by-play on our channel,
Yeah.
and I'm really encouraged by how well it went. It sounded pro.
It's the first time we've ever done anything like this, really,
Yeah.
on our channel. We've done pre and post shows,
Absolutely.
but not for like something that we've produced.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly. So I really want to send a big thank you and shout out to Quinn, who brought all of his gear to be able to cast for us today. So huge thank you to both Quinn and John for being our casters today, but especially for Quinn for providing so much of
That's
the
right.
hardware to be able to make this stream run. Guys, it's been exciting to be watching the watching the chat room as we've been going on here. Nearly 100 people coming out on Twitch to watch this grudge match go down, and watching the chat room, hearing the energy inside of the room
was
here,
great.
it was really amazing.
Well, I just want to say this, and this is going to sound pretty ridiculous, but I was really impressed with MSU's fan presence in the building today. And, if you guys get a chance, if you weren't able to watch the entirety of the stream, go back, check that that VOD, because you will hear green and white all through that broadcast. And,
Yeah.
and, they really came in and they put their feet on U of M's coffee table.
In enemy territory at that.
Yeah.
That's really the thing. I can live with the fact that Michigan, wasn't the better team today. Like I can live with that, but it doesn't feel good to have Michigan State come into our home territory
Kick
and
their shoes off.
kick their shoes off,
I
and
mean,
really
put
kind of
the-
be the more vocal
You
fan
know what I'm
base.
saying? Put the pop on the table without using a coaster, and you get that ugly ring around
was
it.
rude.
It's rude. It was disrespectful
All right,
how they
but,
came in
but
here.
to be
man.
fair, U of M didn't do anything to stop it.
It's
at
very
all.
true.
They just let it happen.
It's very, very true.
That really is the problem. If you don't like it when another team does that, you do something about it. And Michigan, didn't
They
really
didn't.
do anything about it. That second game, I really thought like the longer it went, the better it would have been for Michigan.
That's not what happened.
But they never made that turning point. They just Michigan State started off ahead, which was kind of to be expected. They had the Nittany early game pick. They had Oriana, and it's like, you know what? If this game can get to 30 minutes, I feel pretty good about it for Michigan. And it did get to 30 minutes, but they were never able to just turn on the Jets like they should have been able to.
Well, and on top of that, you saw especially in that mid game, they were just unable to really organize and make any pushes into any lanes. Sure, they were getting kills here and there, but they were unable to really organize. And you saw what Michigan State was able to do, especially in that mid lane around the 25-minute mark. They really began to push that mid lane, and there was nothing that U of M could do to stop them.
If Michigan State's going to hang their hat on anything, I got to tell you something. In the first game, we've got Michigan playing Ergot. Ergot's pretty good on this patch. I come from an era where Ergot was trashed here, so it's to this day weird for me to see Ergot being picked and played well. But Michigan had him first game. Second game, Michigan State comes right back, says, no, we're going to first pick Ergot, and they went off on Ergot. Like, it was ugly. I mean, same like, Aatrox the first game, Ergot the second game. Michigan State's top laner absolutely killed it.
Yeah, and I have to completely 100% agree. Michigan State came in here. They did what they were supposed to do. I'm disappointed that I have to play a game that I hate with every fiber of my being. And you guys, Nate, your hair is safe. And
I can
Robbie,
go home and shave.
you can remain looking like a human being, I guess.
I think you should still grow the beard, Robbie.
I've been thinking about it. I don't know that I'm going to do it just like.
I think you should
off
grow
the
a
cuff,
victory beard.
But maybe on one of our shows, later in the month, maybe we'll have like some type of goal that people can get me to do the no shave.
You
November.
can do a
We'll
playoff
think
beard.
about it.
Playoff beard.
Yeah, do a playoff
Hey,
beard.
Playoff
we've got
We'll
Rocket
see.
League in November, right?
That's right.
That's a
We'll
big
see.
playoff happening.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting on the Michigan State Spartans to come down
here
here.
they come.
They're being
they're
waved
being
over here.
ushered in, and we're going to go ahead and
So,
present
Robbie.
them with the belt, the Golden Mouse belt. Come on in, guys. Come on in, guys. We'll talk to you here in just a second.
So we got the squads here. You guys won't be able to see us for a minute because they need to take their yes, it is very live, guys.
Yes. Someone
Back the camera up.
Tilt the camera up just a tad
Yeah.
here.
Back the camera up.
There we go. Getting
We got the belt, the Burger King camera.
we got the belt going. We've got a crown in here as well. If you guys are watching this live over at twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio, we're currently presenting the Golden Mouse belt to the Michigan State Spartans, who came up victorious over the University of Michigan in the League of Legends grudge match that we've had exclusively here at
Yeah, here come those
twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio.
cheers.
Hey!
As you can see, the
We've-
trash talk continues.
Yes, we've got a bit of a rowdy crowd here.
The trash talk continues as expected of this rivalry. If you are unfamiliar, this is probably the biggest rivalry in the state. MSU again coming out victorious. They've received the Golden Mouse belt. Here's your hold on, give them their case here.
There's your
There's
you
your- there's your
you get
title
a carrying
case.
Get it. There
That's
you
your
guys
title
go.
case. That is yours until next year. Next year comes around, you got to defend that.
Let's get Joe in here. Let's
Joe,
get Joe.
Joe,
to
come back.
Joe, swap out with me.
Come back.
I'll take camera
Result
duties.
will be the same.
Yep. Come back. Come back. All right, guys. So we got some guests here with us at the host table. Guys, introduce yourselves for our guests here on Twitch.
Okay, I was Unpure Ruination. I was the top winner for both of the MSU games.
All right.
I'm Warbirds. I'm the head coach.
All right, guys. So run us through especially that second game, the clinching game. There was a large push on the mid lane to about the last 5 or 6 minutes of that match. Was that something you guys just saw vulnerability, or was that part of your overall game plan to begin with?
I think that was, I didn't personally see it because I'm the top winner, so I'm kind of in the sidelines always.
Right.
But I know Scott saw it, and so we kind of just followed his call. And our jungler Peyton also calls out a lot of the shots too. So we really want to put a lot of trust into our calls because if we're scattered on calls, that might just not follow through.
Ruination, I gotta ask. You popped off, and I would say like
Man.
first game that Aatrox played. Second game, I gotta know, was there like they took the Urgot the first game, first pick. Second game, you guys come right back with the Urgot pick. Was there some thought to that? Was it a little bit of disrespect?
So for the first game, we thought the Fiora player was in, and they switched him in for the second. So we were thinking that if we picked Urgot, then they would just pick Fiora. If we picked Aatrox, they would just pick Fiora. So we left all our bans up to the last pick, which was Fiora. So now if we ban Fiora, they either have to give us Aatrox or Urgot. But their top lane doesn't know how to play Aatrox. And if they play Urgot, it'll be a repeat of game 1.
Okay.
So it kind of forced them to ban out the Aatrox, and then we got the Urgot, and then there's pretty much nothing they could do about that.
All right, now I don't know if you guys were able to feel or hear or maybe just experience through the ether the energy that was going on down here. You guys had a really, really loud, rowdy contingency down here cheering for you guys. Is that something that happens every time you guys go out to play? You guys have a following that fervent?
No. Never. Never.
Well,
Never
I
happened.
can tell you, you did today. You
Yeah.
put the Michigan crowd kind of to shame.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. So obviously this has been in the making for a little while. What's the game planning been like for the past few weeks, getting ready for the match?
Well, we started scrimming about 3 weeks ago, a month ago. So we got a little jump on UMich or Michigan. So we had some roster changes though. So our current roster we put into place about a week or two ago. So I mean, yeah, other than just scrims, VOD review, we're in 2 leagues that we play in. Other than that, like, just what most teams do.
Your guys' starting lineup has, 3 people who main AD carry. What is it like trying to figure out who goes where?
Well, it's a lot of it is just getting autofilled in solo queue.
Okay.
So, and also they do play on other accounts as well. So
okay.
there were some things that we hidden. Like if you look at really big memes account, all you see is Kha'Zix. You don't see anything else.
Right.
So
Well,
we use that.
We
too.
were doing our best to try to do a little research. Obviously, unlike the pro scene where I can at least have some idea of what everyone's playing. In the collegiate scene, it's a little bit more difficult. It wasn't until today that we learned, like, oh, wait, Really Big Meme plays tons of Kha'Zix. Wait a minute, what the heck's up with that? No, and, of course, with the new patch, he gets banned every game.
Yeah.
So if I could just pick your brain a little bit, we're officially on the Worlds patch now. What are you guys looking forward to at Worlds this year?
Oh, that's tough. Hopefully, like, there's some really interesting, like, picks that could be played. Like, I know Vedius was talking about Pyke.
Yeah.
And Europe has been playing a lot of Pyke in, like, really weird positions. Like, they play him mid, which is interesting. Yeah.
Oh, I
He's
didn't
been
hear about
practicing
that.
it in solo queue.
Okay.
Just, like, there's a lot. Right now is, like, I think there's, only 2 or 3 champions that haven't been picked in pro play.
Yeah, it's been a weird
So,
year like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's very diverse this year.
So,
Right. So with that said, just to close, you guys are now at least the statewide champions at League of Legends for sure. If you have any messages for your fans watching back at East Lansing, what is your message for those guys back in Lansing?
1v1s will return on Thursday. Next Thursday on the club.
I don't know. Better team wins, I guess.
Yeah.
That's right. Well,
Better school wins.
Yeah.
thank you guys
I mean,
for joining us.
Do you guys realize that I now have to play a David Cage game because I lost my bet?
Nobody
Thanks-
cares, Joe.
Well, I care.
Oh, what?
I mean, I think we're going to enjoy that a little bit more now.
See? See? Well, with that said, thank you guys for joining us. Congratulations on your win. And we look forward to following you guys in all of your endeavors in the season coming up.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting us.
Yep. All right, guys. Again, this is Checkpoint Radio, Esports and Gaming Radio. We are live at U of M, Ross School of Business. This is right now. This is it. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
It was a 2-0 defeat.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
I'm not feeling good about it. We're being told that we need to give the computer back, so we're running out of time here.
Whoa. Hold on now.
Hey, there
Hold
you
on.
are. You're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
That's yours.
You're the.
I had a few questions for you guys now. You know,
Oh,
I
great.
mean, looking back on it, you know, you called, you know, the better the team was going to win, and obviously it wasn't true whatsoever. So I'm just curious, Joe and Norris, looking back now, let's say next year, you're going to choose different. You're going to choose a little more wisely.
I mean, first of all, I don't flip-flop like you.
Uh-huh.
That's number one. I stick to my guns. All right.
Big Lions fan, then, are you?
No, I hate the Lions. I hate the Lions so much.
No,
but
that would be me.
I'm amazing Blue fan. I will
Okay.
always be amazing Blue fan. That is who I ride with. And hopefully next year they can make some improvements. Take this experience as a learning experience. Come back new and improved. And for the love of God, not get thrashed in the mid lane.
Well, and I mean, at the end of the day, that's the thing about collegiate esports, right? In any collegiate sport, it turns over so drastically every
That's
year.
right.
The lineups that we see now will not be the lineups we see
the meta
next
we
year.
see will not be the meta next year.
That's true. So it'll be hard to predict year in, year out. I think, though, it would be only be fair, though, if we went to Michigan State next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's only
Right?
fair.
Like-
It's
home,
only
home-
fair.
yeah, home field advantage and all
right.
of that.
Swap
So
every
they've
year.
earned it.
Yeah,
they've
absolutely.
earned it. MSU has earned home field advantage for next year.
That's right. So now we've got a couple of players from the University of Michigan to sit down. Norris and I are going to clear out and let them take a seat.
All right, guys. Welcome to Checkpoint Radio. If you guys want to go ahead and quickly introduce yourselves for us.
Okay, so I'm Jalen Key. I'm the mid laner and the captain for the University of Michigan team.
I'm Marcus. I'm the coach.
Oh, Jalen. So you were the one trash talking on our show a few weeks ago about this being MSU's B team, right?
Yes, I was.
How does it feel?
I mean, they were better teams today, but they've also been practicing since May, so they should probably stomp us in 15 minutes both games. But our
You're right. It took them 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So if it takes them 30 minutes to beat the team that's been together for 2 weeks, they've been practicing since May. I'm okay with that right now.
All right.
And we were just mentioning it is one of the difficulties of collegiate esports, or any sport really, is there's so much turnover going from year to year. What's the process been like this year, getting your team put together and getting ready to be here?
Sure. So part of the problem is Michigan just starts school September 4th, which is incredibly late. So we can't really start building on rosters till like middle of September when we get our first LAN, so we get all the freshmen coming in.
Right.
So we ran our trials only 3 weeks ago, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So it's just coming in, kind of figuring out who's playing, who graduated, who's coming in again this year, and then what kind of freshmen are coming in. And after that, we have to start teaching them the game from the ground up.
So if you had to narrow it down to one thing, obviously you guys came up short today. What would you say would be what was it that hampered you guys?
I think it was just, the fact that we didn't have as much practice. A lot of stuff we're focusing on in scrims, like whether early game goes good or bad, we end up focusing on something that's like intermediate to advanced level macro. But I think right now, especially with the turnover you guys were talking about, since we have two new, I think, are they freshmen or just incoming?
Both freshmen.
Yeah. So they're both freshmen, the top jungle, and they need a lot of introduction to team play since they haven't really played pro or competitive before.
Well, we identified it after the first game. You guys got off to a really good start in that first game, and a lot of like the individual plays. The dive at bot lane when you turned it around after losing your summoner spell early on. You guys made a good play there, and it wasn't until kind of that mid-game transition when it was time to start pushing objectives where you guys started to struggle a little bit. And I wonder, is that just young players not knowing quite how to make that transition into objective pushes?
Yeah, I definitely think it's that. Especially early lane, it's all about mechanics, and you don't have to teach a lot of people mechanics. They get that from solo queue. But in a team play, everything has to be coordinated, and if you just don't understand kind of how the game works fundamentally, then you just have to teach all that stuff.
There was a particular moment, I think, that was the turning point in the first game where MSU had the Baron buff, I think, up. That was up, and you guys probably should have waited it out and then engaged the team fight. Was that engagement, was that just like a miscommunication, or what was the plan or the choice there?
So I actually just trolled that on Aurelia. I tried to go really far to flank, but I forgot they had the Aatrox TP. So it ended with me kind of running around the back while they already started turning. Otherwise, it should have been a 5v3, 5v4 that we should have won.
That's fair enough. So, I mean, obviously we're moving on now, looking towards maybe next year when we'll have a chance to win the belt back. I mean, what would you guys do differently if you had to do it over again?
I'd say focus on the fundamentals with the newer players, definitely from the beginning. Although a lot of times, in scrims it might look like we have them down, there's constant need to reiterate and to make that habit, because especially when those players are playing more solo queue than they are scrims. You got a lot of solo queue habits coming in, and so you really kind of have to reform that. And it takes a lot of scrims and a lot of, working it into them that not only in scrims but also in solo queue, like when they do get the free time, since we don't scrim as much as, a collegiate team.
Right.
Everyone's got their classes and whatnot. They need to be working towards that competitive, those habits and playing clean in solo queue as well.
We asked the MSU squad this. We're now officially on the Worlds patch. What are you guys' thoughts on Worlds this year? Does North America have a chance?
Absolutely not.
No.
North America's doomed.
I'd like to disagree with you, but I really can't. It's going to be a rough year at Worlds. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you guys next time.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks for talking with us. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So we've now heard from both squads, both the Michigan State Spartans and the University of Michigan Wolverines. And here we are.
We did it. We made it to the end.
I know. And here's the thing, right? And we had mentioned this before. This is the first time that we've ever tried to do something like this on the channel.
We've done
And
bits and pieces here, a pre-show, a post-show.
right,
Yeah.
right. And I mean, I think it's sort of building towards something
Yeah.
larger.
Never
and,
everything at the same time.
Right, and to have a full kind of comprehensive presentation here with our amazing casters, with the ability to have a live feed in the actual room. I'm really encouraged by how this went. I'm really impressed, not just with you guys, not just with our casting team, but with everyone here. This
Took a lot of moving parts.
it did.
A
It
lot
did.
of moving parts.
And it all kind of came together. And so, we want to thank everyone that joined us over at twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio for this special presentation. We're going to be trying to do more of these types of things. So make sure that, if you haven't yet, follow over at twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio.
They are literally rolling up the screen
Right.
as we speak.
Yep. So I think that's our cue.
I think we're getting a subtle hint.
I
We get a
think-
subtle hint to get out of here.
Yes. So if you're listening on the podcast, thank you guys so much. I know it's a different sort of podcast than you're used to. Don't have the show review this week, but when we get an opportunity to do something special like this, I
Gotta
think
take it.
I think it's way more important to have a show that encapsulates something special than it is to just kind of be sitting around and talking about what we were talking about this week on the radio show.
Absolutely.
Anyway. So there's a lot more in store here at Checkpoint Radio. A lot of announcements that we're going to be making over the
please
next
stay
couple of
tuned.
weeks. A lot of stuff that's going to be going down live here at the Twitch channel, including we're going to be at the Esports Business Summit out in Las Vegas. That's Monday through Wednesday. We're going to be doing live streams. We're going to hopefully the bulk of our show this week is going to be comprised of interviews that we're going to be conducting out there.
And guys, these are interviews
Top
you
tier.
want to hear.
Yeah,
Top tier.
Like
yeah, we're super
I'll be the
excited
first
about
to
this.
admit we have
Top
an interview
tier.
every now and then where it's like, that was fun,
Right.
but
I think this is going to be 8 solid interviews that you're definitely going to want to hear. That's going to change your esports life. So thank you guys if you've been listening on the podcast or if you've been joining us live over at twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio. Remember to check out checkpointradio.com for full episodes on demand, a full archive of podcasts and interviews. That's all over at checkpointradio.com. I want to thank WRIF for embedding our stream on their webpage and for helping us promote this event. They've been really helpful as they've been out here collecting video, just hanging out with the students that came out to watch this. They have been so totally awesome. So thank you so much to WRIF and to everyone who decided to check out the stream live over at twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio. That's going to be it for us. For the Checkpoint Radio crew, Robbie Landis, Norris Howard, Joe Sloan, and our executive producer, Rick Scott. I'm Nate Bender. Keep listening.